everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shaki and today we're going to be doing my second John GreenAthon review. Technically, this is my first GreenAthon review because I already posted a review of Tales of the Way Down a few years ago, so I didn't exactly want to make a brand new one when I already have one on my channel. So, happy GreenAthon, everybody. If you didn't know what the GreenAthon is, it is a year-long read-along of all of John Green's books that I'm hosting. Every 2 months we read a book, and then every month in between that we discuss it. The live show for this book is happening on April 11th at 6 p.m. GMT or BST. It's not summertime technically yet, so it's technically still GMT. It will be here on my channel. I already have two guests, Waverly and Ashley, and they will be joining me in discussing this book. If you would like to be a host, please let me know and we can work something out. Details for the readathon will be down below, including my original intro video and the Twitter page if you would like to get involved in the next read, which will be, I believe, An Abundance of Catherine's, but I'm not entirely sure. But we read Will Grayson from March 10th to April 10th, which should be the date of tomorrow, so don't worry, you still have a day to finish this, but I finished this quite a while ago, so I decided to make my review now. This book is a little bit different in the GreenAthon because it is a feature author. We only have two features of John Green's books in the GreenAthon, and that is Let It Snow and Will Grayson. This time we are with David Levithan as well as John Green. So this book of John Green's is all about two boys called Will Grayson. The first, Will Grayson, is friends with a plus-sized boy named Tiny, and no matter how much Tiny tries, he will never ever get Will Grayson to admit his feelings for their friend Jane because she has a boyfriend. On the other end of the spectrum, we have a second Will Grayson. We'll call them Will Grayson 1 and Will Grayson 2 for the sake of this review. Will Grayson 2 is on the other side of America and he is chatting to someone online who he believes to be the love of his life. He's still in a closet being gay and stuff like that, and he has a lot of internalized homophobia, which I would say is definitely one of the main problems of this book that I personally have. So after Will Grayson 2 goes off to meet who he believes is the internet love of his life, he meets Will Grayson 1 and Tiny at a pawn shop. From there, the three of them become really close, especially Will Grayson 2 and Tiny, as they start dating, and Will Grayson 1 finds himself being pushed out more and more and more. A part of Tiny's personality is love. He absolutely loves to be in relationships and just loves love, and he wants Will Grayson to love love as well, even though he has never had a girlfriend before and he just doesn't want that. That's not his jam. But Tiny kind of forces it upon him, and him and Jane start speaking, but Jane has a boyfriend and he has a really hard time kind of expressing his feelings towards her because of the restrictions of him having a boyfriend. Sound familiar? Yeah, me too. I ended up giving this a 3.25 on Goodreads for many reasons. I really like the friendship element of this and how it deals with the fact that your best friend could be the bestest friend you've ever had, but as soon as they get into a relationship, they have no goddamn time for you because they have a new best friend, which is of course their partner. Which I think a lot of young people go through nowadays, and it's really important to know, just because you got a boyfriend or girlfriend does not mean you can decline and not really look after your friends anymore. I just really think that the celebration of platonic relationships in YA is incredibly missed, and I feel like this is a really good example of how it can be done really well. However, what I don't think was done very well was the differences in perspectives that both of the Will Graysons have. The only difference in the way that the Will Graysons are characterized is the fact that one doesn't speak in capital letters at the beginning of his sentences, which is not a character trait, I'm just saying. Also the fact that one of them is depressed, and I feel like the way that mental health was handled in this novel to be a defining characteristic between the two Will Graysons was a little bit iffy for me. I also feel like in this, the whole rules of grammar aren't exactly followed as well, just to prove a point and just to characterise the characters. If your voices aren't that different, then I'm sorry, but it's time to not collab. Using grammar and sentences and not starting a new line per person is not differentiating between two characters, and that is the T. Along with the other Will Grayson being depressed and this being a defining feature of that Will Grayson and like trying to tell the difference between them both, is the fact that the second Will Grayson, as I said, has a lot of internalized homophobia and fat shames Tiny, who is supposed to be his love interest, who they are supposed to be dating, they're supposed to love each other no matter what their size is, and I feel like a lot of attention is pulled to Tiny's weight throughout the book, and I really didn't appreciate this as a plus-sized audience member. The key defining thing about John Green's novels that I really like is the fact that the characters are deeply flawed, but he has a way of writing them and a way of structuring them that you tend to really like them despite their flaws. This is really difficult to explain without offending anybody, but I'm going to try and do it anyway. I love John Green books. I have a very big collection of them. I have an array of selection. I have them all that he's ever published. My channel name, for God's sake, is Looking for Shaki. Like, I love John Green so much. And one of the reasons why I love John Green is because of his flawed characters that he writes so well and gives them so many layers that you love them anyway. Despite their flaws, in fact, because of their flaws and the fact that you just love them. This cast of characters was really odd for me, and it was really odd to call this a John Green book because although the characters were intensely flawed, I just didn't like them that much, and I feel like I didn't get that vibe of normal archetypal John Green characters in the fact that I was supposed to love them because they were just assholes most of the time, apart from Will Grayson 1. In fact, he is a little bit of an asshole, but he has that John Green character arc where you tend to love him despite his flaws and despite the fact that he does some shitty things. He apologises, we love them anyway. Furthermore, in addition to this, I honestly feel like I don't like John Green collaborations as much as I love separate John Green books. I do have some evidence to back this up. I'm not just being a bitch towards the other authors. I'm really not. Another book we'll be discussing down the line is Let It Snow, featuring Lauren Miracle and Maureen Johnson. Although I love these ladies so much, their writing styles are very good, I just personally don't feel like John Green gets the freedom to do his John Greenness all over the books when he has other people collaborating with him, which is natural because there has to be more space for them to do their character development as well, but I feel like it cuts out a lot of the John Greenness that I really like. I had the same problem with Let It Snow, and I had the problem with this as well, in the fact that I didn't love the characters no matter how flawed they were as much as I was supposed to and expected to because John Green was in the book. Despite its flaws though, with the whole fat shaming, internalized homophobia, the messy writing structure, and trying to use a mental illness to differentiate between two characters, I really actually enjoyed this book. It wasn't too shabby, it wasn't the worst book that I ever read, but it wasn't exactly the best. I'm really interested to know what other people think of this. I know that Waverly DNF'd it, and I know that Ashley really likes it and haven't read it for a few years, so it'll be really interesting in our live stream discussion to see the difference in opinions of then and now, how we're reading the old stuff with new minds and new experiences and how they can really change our reading experiences. I'm really just interested to see what people are going to think of this because it has aged badly. Like, probably most of John Green's books have aged kind of badly, but this one in particular aged quite badly because of the internalized homophobia and the fat shaming that made me really uncomfortable throughout, and I know it made Waverly so uncomfortable that she DNF'd it. Those are my opinions on Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan for the GreenAthon. Again, if you would like to participate in any of our future reads, I will leave the original announcement video down below and the Twitter so you can get all the information that you kind of want. But until the live show and until next time, GreenAthon, I will see you then for our read of An Abundance of Catherines by just John Green this time. Thank you so much for watching my review, and I will see you in the live show or next week for a brand new video. Bye!
You've got a face for a smile, you know. A shame you're wasted when you're breaking me slowly. But I've got a